Riverbend Talent on the Big Z, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of the Stubblefield Band of the Macias Insurance Agency. And Matt likes to share his advertising with all of his friends, like Town Club and Mr. Donut and all people he insures.
Spreading the love around.
And think about those places I mentioned. They've been around a long time. So apparently his insurance works.
And Mr. Donuts has not only been around a long time, the only Mr. Donuts left in the country. So, if you're a Dunkin' Donut guy, whatever.
Somebody needs
Mr. Donuts.
Somebody needs to do a Homer Simpson right now. We are talking to the left-hand left-hand Cowboys. Left-hand Cowboy.
Bear claw.
And Pigpen's going to introduce him.
All right, left-hand. So I've been in contact with the left-handed Cowboy. We've been talking. Actually, you gave me their number.
Yeah.
You actually passed the number off.
It's Bubby, man. We got a
Bubby.
Bubby did it. That's right, Barbecue Bubby.
So what he see?
Yeah, I've seen you guys somewhere.
So his brother saw you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he got found your number, passed it to me.
So there's proof there's at least one person at their show.
Yeah, right. At one show.
But one of the great things, so we've been doing this, 7, 8 years, something like that. We've been doing this for a while. And one of the great things that we find is that there's so many musicians. And as many as we know, there's just as many that we don't know. And once you get to know them, they're connected to everybody. You know what I mean? It's all these circles that overlap each other, and it becomes just like the big Olympic symbol or whatever after a while, because everybody's touching everybody.
What?
I'm touching everybody right now. I got both hands on the table, bro. Hey, you're moving away too fast.
So tell us who. So tell us who you're touching.
There you go. Touching everyone I can. So I've been in contact with Left-Handed Cowboy. Happy to finally get him on, because it took a minute for us to line up schedules. But I got right next to me Kerry Wills.
That's right.
Guitar player.
No S.
Gary Will.
Dump that S. Yeah.
Gary Will.
Yeah. I want to make sure tax people can get a hold of me.
Gary will.
Yeah.
Gary won't.
That's exactly right. Mostly won't.
I know a Gary that will.
I bet
I know a Gary that won't. All right. So
I never heard that before.
It's a new one. Yeah. Hey.
All right. So you are the git fiddle player. You're the guitar slanger.
Yes, that's me.
Excellent.
Yeah. How long you been playing?
Do I have to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was Annie
Yes. I will be honest. I just turned 71 in April. I've been playing since I was 15.
Wow.
Started playing out when I was 18.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah. So I.
What was your first band like you played out with?
Dear Lord, I couldn't.
Dear Lord, I heard of them. Yeah.
Oh man, those guys are great.
A lot of people like them.
I'd say the first real band I was in was probably a band called. You ready for this?
Yeah.
You guys? Zigzag.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you're named after rolling papers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah.
like the 1.5s.
Where was that at? Was that around here?
Well, yeah. It was mostly out of Cottage Hills, Wood River.
Oh, you played the Matador
Yes.
and
Matador, Buster's Lounge. It was called whatever. I don't know what it's called now. Wags now, but
okay,
back
yeah.
in the day it was called something else.
I think it's Slimmers now.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, we played there, and I don't know. I'm still traumatized.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played at the Matador one night, and actually it was a guy called me to come in and play. Off the cuff, and I went in. Yeah, $75 and 74 I'll take. Went in there and we're playing after a little while. A guy comes in with a gun, waving it around. He's like, "Can you beep out bad words?" No. Anyway, he's waving the gun, saying he's going to kill every guy in the place because his old lady's been sleeping around, and he's going to make sure he gets the right guy. Anyway, the guy.
This sounds familiar, actually, about that
the
place.
guy that was singing that got me the gig. Jumps off the stage, runs over, smacks the gun out of his hand, knocks him out.
Oh wow!
Comes over, puts his hand around my head. He's about 6'8". This guy.
Yeah.
His arm around like this. Gary, we came here to get women and play music, didn't we? I go, not get shot. So,
Wow.
And I was hiding behind my super reverb amp.
So were you young then, or
I
was?
was 21, 22.
Okay, yeah.
Like that,
So just breaking into the bar scene.
yeah.
The Cadillac place was there too,
Played
right?
there, too.
What was that called? The Cadillac Ranch or something?
Camaro Lounge.
Camaro.
Cadillac.
Lounge, there you go.
Now it's a house.
Okay.
But everyone that has been in here and talked about the Matador,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
always been rough stories. Who was the bouncer there?
Well, we learned a little bit about it from Lyndon Sickmeier.
Well, Linda would know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I can't even remember all this. As soon as you said as soon as what you said Matador,
Oh,
Yeah.
fun place.
Well, I grew up in Cottage Hills too, so I love the history
Actually,
of
we
the.
were the house band for a little while. There.
Okay.
And that band that actually was called Tequila Sunrise
Oh.
because our lead singer liked Tequila Sunrise drinks, you know. So we called our band that then. But same band, just different name.
I think Tom
Right.
Henley liked him too.
Obviously.
Glenn Fry, I don't remember. Maybe
Obviously.
both. Either way, it's another Tequila Sunrise.
Well, yeah, they're pretty good to watch them make them because, you know, they're nice little colors, and depending on what you were doing at the time, the colors could become really intense. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I
It
know.
was the 70s.
Yeah, very early 70s, early to mid.
It was a pretty dirty decade. I remember right now.
Good times. Good
Good
times.
times. Anyway, you want.
Check out the songs on my mix. Right.
So there you go. Gary Will's playing, going back to the Matador, man.
Yeah,
Gary Wills and Gary won't.
Gary Will.
Yeah, that's
Gary
a
won't.
Will and won't.
Gary might. Gary should.
Might.
Gary wants to.
Gary wanna.
He's known by many names.
That's right.
If we move across the table, next we have Jim Duey.
That's me.
How you doing, Jim Duey?
Just fine. Just
It
fine.
is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, sir. You are the electric bass player, not the acoustic bass player.
I just call it electric bass, yeah.
Electric bass. Well, you know.
So, how long you been playing?
Tell him,
Probably
Jim.
a few years less than him. I
Okay.
didn't start playing until I was in college. A lot of guys start when they're 13 or 14, and by the time they get to college, they quit. I didn't start till I got into college.
Okay. And are you from around here too?
Well, not really. My dad worked for McDonnell Douglas,
Okay.
and we traveled around the country from project to project and stuff like that.
Right. Ever see a UFO? I mean, since we're talking about it.
Well, we actually, I lived in Alamogordo, which wasn't too far from Area 51 for an Air
Oh.
Force Base.
You never got in there though. No.
No, never did.
Oh,
But,
wait, we're talking music. I got me off of my UFO conspiracies again.
Well, that was a bad UFO, right?
Right, yeah, true, yeah.
I actually had to give the singer Phil a ride one time.
That's cool.
And I was supposed to drop him back off at a hotel, and he's like, "I need new shoes. Can you drop me at the store?" And I love the guy for that. That was like my biggest memory of him, is that he had me drop in a Dollar General instead of Dollar General or something like that.
Yeah, Red Fox's Lawyers was a Dewey. Dewey, Cheatham, and Hale.
Dewey Cheatham. Yeah.
Okay,
the great
Gary, will
Cox.
you do a Cheeto and a half? Oh, we're on a roll here. So, Jim, tell them how long we've known each other.
Yeah.
Well, Gary knew my little brother Dave.
What a guitar
and,
player.
That's how I met Gary. Back when I was, like I said, even before I started playing, I'd hear them down in the basement playing and
right.
teaching each other music and stuff like that.
Right.
And they were always, well, not just with Gary, but with everybody that my little brother had over, they would always say, "I'm not playing the bass line. No, you have to play the bass line." And,
That's right.
And so eventually I thought, maybe there's a spot for me in this in this crazy world of show business,
I heard the bass player gets all the girls
Yeah, that's what you hear.
because he makes them shake their butt. He makes them shake their
Well, I
butt.
was going to say, they might be looking at the singer or the guitar player, but they're all shaking their derrieres to the bass,
Smart move. I mean, because you're not as busy as them, so maybe you can just walk over and do the talking, right? I mean, we know what you were thinking. We've talked to a lot of you musicians, so we
Oh, man. So,
No, but that's, the first thing I thought when you said two guitar players. I'm like, now I know why you're the bass player. It's like, there was no room for anything else at that point,
We actually probably had 3 guitar players.
right?
That was always the same argument.
Yeah.
And
They wanted me to play bass, and I wouldn't do it. I would do it on the guitar. I'd play the lines for a while, but I'm like, come on, I want to play this stuff.
I'm a melody guy.
Yeah.
And then there's the one guy in the band that you just hope shows up, because when he doesn't, it's not as much fun.
Right. You don't even need a PA if he don't show up.
I know. And that's the drummer.
Right.
You guys got a drummer.
And the drummer.
We had a drummer.
Yeah, Tom Hendricks is the drummer, and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Great to be here.
It's great to put a face with your voice.
Yep.
We talked on the phone several times.
yeah.
I pictured you more cartoony with eyes like Cookie Monster that rolled around.
In the morning.
In the morning before I get my
I
coffee,
straighten
for
up.
sure. Right.
And I'm cheating a little bit. I heard your face or your name on the radio quite a bit, your voice.
Yeah, well,
Very distinct voice.
You heard me. You said you listened to the Outlaw Opry show. Those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who was the other one you heard?
Sean Garrett, I believe.
Right.
That one.
Yeah, but he's listening to you on KDHX,
I
right?
listened to you on Tuesday mornings for a few years.
But until you retired.
Oh, yeah.
You said that out in the lobby, and we were walking Liver Jones out or whatever, and my brain doesn't pick.
We used to have to rehearse like at 3 in the afternoon because Tom had to go to bed at 6 or something.
Right.
Never listened to you.
So were you working a midnight shift? Or?
No, I just got there early.
Just got there early enough.
Yeah.
Very early.
Yeah,
So how'd you get started playing drums?
Actually, in 7th grade, I was a singer in a band, and our drummer, he was a drummer because he had some drums. And we practiced in my basement, and he'd at least leave his drum set up.
Uh-huh.
And after school, I'd go home and beat around. After a couple months, he kind of stopped coming to practice, and I was the drummer.
Same thing happened with Van Halen. Right? Eddie was the drummer, and Eddie was the drummer originally, and
just
yeah.
wanted to play guitar, so
Yeah.
brother Alex got to come in.
Well, Alex was playing guitar.
Find out.
You got his number. Alex was playing guitar, but Eddie wouldn't set it down to let him play, so he just started playing drums. But that's how it happens. But them drums are sitting there. It's hard not to get behind them.
You get home from school, you're like, I think I'll go beat those things.
Yeah.
I got a little extra energy. Sitting down for 8 hours was horrible at this age.
So, have you played in a lot of different bands too?
Yeah.
Most drummers
I went
do.
through a stage where you get in a band, you play in someone's garage or basement, you play one job, somebody'd want to quit, somebody'd get mad at somebody else, and then that band was dissolved, and half of you and 2 other guys would start another band and repeat. In about late 74 or 75, I got in a band called Broken Arrow.
Okay.
Yeah, and we did okay around this
Okay.
for a while.
Okay.
That's how we met.
At the Matador?
No. Down at a place called Beethoven's. You remember
Beethoven? I don't remember that
Down
one.
on Front Street. We used to be Front Street, and we would play on Fridays. We had a band called Brother Jesse, and these guys played on Saturdays, right? And the piano player calls me. I lived right up on West 9th in Alton. He called me, you got to come down and hear this band. You got to hear these guys. They're great. And I could hear them playing a Grateful Dead song in the background. I said, I'm in.
Right.
And I took a couple of minutes to do this and that, and I got down there about 10 minutes later, and they were playing the same Grateful Dead song.
All right. All
I
right.
met those guys and ended up in the band with them. In fact, most of my band ended up in their band.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were playing Grateful Dead.
and other really great stuff, New Riders, and right, Tommy?
man,
What else you guys play? I can't remember.
That was when the country rock was really popular too.
Yeah, Birds, Sweetheart of the Rodeo, Working Man's Dead, all that was hitting real hard right then.
Oh, yeah.
We also did some Marshall Tucker and a lot of that kind of stuff, and it went over pretty well.
Yeah.
That's kind of the feel for this area, that Southern rock thing. We had Mama's Pride. We had,
Oh, yeah.
We had, I know I'm forgetting some, but Almond Joy, if you want to go way back, right? Which was eventually the Allman Brothers, right? And, so we always talk about that horn influence, that Mama's Pride had with their guitars, right? That was like a St. Louis thing, the St. Louis blues and the horns, and, so it's a neat area here of all these different influences. You know, we didn't even mention the jazz that Miles Davis was throwing down, right? So, and we talk a lot about, you know, this being the true home of rock and roll.
I think so.
Yeah, so.
Chuck Berry.
But
Right.
You got Chuck Berry on the other side of the river, and St. Louis doesn't get enough credit for that. But just right down East St. Louis, Illinois, Ike Turner.
Yep.
You know,
I live right down the street from a guy that played guitar with him from 58 to 71, Herb Sadler.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Herb was the man. He plucked him out of high school.
Nice.
And have I got a lot of cool stuff from Herb, you know, learning, playing how to play, how not to play.
When to play, when
That's
not
what
to
I mean.
play, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I know. So you're talking about Ike and Tina Turner and stuff like that. You know, who else did we have? Albert Collin, come on, Albert King.
Thank you. Yeah.
Albert King.
Yeah, and we talk about Johnny Johnson a lot because, like, he was huge.
Johnny, I recorded with him.
Yeah, so to me, and we talk, like I said, we talk at lengths about this because we love the subject. But to me, you've got, you know, Ike Turner, and basically they say that was the invention of distortion. He was driving down to Sun Studios, his amp fell out of the back of the
tube broke
out of the car.
Yeah.
They didn't have enough money to buy a new amp, so they crushed up newspaper and held the speaker up, and that was.
Was that what it was?
That's what Phillips Sun Studios claims is that it's first recorded distortion.
And then Johnny Johnson was playing a gig on New Year's Eve. His saxophone player had a stroke, and so he needed somebody to fill in. And he's like, "Who can you get on a New Year's Eve night to fill in?"
That's good.
Right. So he knew this kid named Chuck Berry.
There you go.
And Chuck come up and filled in, and then they became a trio and ended up going up to Chess Records.
Yep.
And the rest is history there. And
they went up as the Johnny Johnson
trio, right?
Johnny Johnson, once they got to going, he said, "We got the Chuck Berry's the name behind it. That's not me."
Well,
but you take Johnny Johnson.
It's because Chuck had a car.
Good.
Remember, Chuck had a car.
That was a big part of it. That's what they said.
He said wheels are better than heels.
Right.
That's what Johnny said.
But Johnny Johnson writes Johnny Be Good on the piano.
Right.
Sort of jazzy, sort of bluesy, and then Chuck takes it and puts it on a distorted guitar, and you've got a sound that, you know.
And then all those kids learn that song, and then boom, boom, going on and on.
Well, any guitar player knows there's only two rock and roll songs: Johnny Be Good and Alice's Restaurant. No, I don't know.
Alice's Restaurant. My son loves that song. They used to reenact that movie every Thanksgiving.
And
16-year-old kids.
Self-destruction.
Yeah.
So we talk about this huge influence of different types of music all coming together right here, and mainly on the east side, actually. And so that reminds me of like what you guys were saying earlier about, you know, when I asked what kind of music do you guys play, and you were like, well, it's hard to really put a finger on it because we're all over the place.
Right.
So
you don't want to be like pigeonholed into, like, you know, like, okay, a lot of bands will go out and they play this cookie cutter stuff, you know, Mustang Sally and all that stuff, and we don't. But if somebody asks for it, we'll play it, you know. But mostly we don't. And we get a lot of people come and say, you know what, we like you guys because you play different stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? And, you know, yeah.
One thing we try to do is we kind of like an adventure, so people will request songs.
Oh,
Even if we haven't played it before, we'll usually take a stab at it. We try to play, each gig we try to play at least one or two songs that we've never played together.
That's pretty cool.
That fearlessness.
This guy brings in stuff that's scary sometimes.
Iron Maiden or something?
No, I don't have
We can do it. We can do it. I'd always say we'll do it. We can do it, and then we figure out how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Can anybody out there sing this song? Anybody know this song?
There you go,
Sing with
yeah.
us? We've done that before too.
Yes.
We did call
Sometimes
that
it
one
works
girl-
out really well.
Remember they wanted that one girl to sing that one day at Aeries, and she wanted to do Dreams. And we just happened to know Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. And
Right.
That girl got up and wailed. You know?
She nailed it.
Yeah, nice.
But we knew it, so that was one time we didn't have to worry about it. We had to worry about can she sing it. Boy, could she. Yeah, so.
Well, and you know, you bring up Fleetwood Mac. We're talking about all the local influences. What's Bonnie Bramlett's daughter's name? She's singing with Fleetwood Mac now. I forgot her name now.
Oh, man. You just forgot her name.
Yeah, I know. I started to say it, and then I started to
Here, hold on, wait a minute.
No.
I thought you were
Let me call Herb. He knows him personally. He'd ask. No.
Yeah. But yeah, we love Bonnie, man, and Bonnie was an outstanding interview that we got to do, and the most famous person we've ever interviewed, quite honestly. And we talk about it all the time. I mean, the Beatles would call her up and want to hang out with her. I mean,
George Harrison.
so you know,
Clapton went on tour with him.
yeah. And right here, born in Alton, Illinois, moved to Granite City. So you know,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know she was from Alton.
yeah.
Yes.
Born in Alton, lived in Granite City. When she was 15, Ike Turner picked her up as a Ikeette, but it didn't last long because he couldn't take a 15-year-old white girl over state lines.
No, it was a little rough back then.
And they said even in the time that they had her, there was quite a few conflicts after the shows where a car would follow them out and pull them over, and they'd have to bust out the guns. You know, music game has gotten a little easier over the time.
A little bit.
We don't have very much of that going on.
Right. I don't know. Gary was waving guns earlier.
Yeah.
No. A guy was waving guns.
Yeah, well, you know.
Still, that was a great story.
It was a rough time in Cottage Hills there, though. That place is, you know.
I didn't say all of it. Oh man,
That was a rough joint.
It is to us. This little area is a great musical area. There's a musician. Every street has one that I know, and it really does. Like he was saying, with you guys saying, it's kind of a melting pot of music. It's because there's so many influences, so many things coming together here, and just meeting you guys, but talking on the phone for a while. The Left-Handed Cowboy does lead you to go, oh, it must be cowboy music.
Yeah.
We got both kinds,
me.
Western and country.
Yeah, believe me,
That's right.
they do think that.
And a lot of people pigeonhole us that way.
Well,
And I was going to say, because the name,
Sounds like it started with the Grateful Dead, though, right? You were going down to see him playing a Grateful Dead song that took 10 minutes for you to get down there. He was still playing.
They were doing New Riders and all that stuff, and we were doing like a lot of rhythm and blues and blues and then after that, Oriole Speedwagon and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
That was what we were doing, you know.
Yeah.
Steve Scorpina.
Yeah, we've been.
Got to throw him in there.
There you go. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Well,
He got to tour with the Dead. When REO did their stint opening for the Dead, he was still in REO, and he got to see, the Wall of Sound. I'm sure if you're
Sure.
So it's always been the legend. 4 semis, 2 semis pull into this town and set up, and then while that show's going on, 2 semis. And I said, wow, you played through the whole, 2 semis of equipment. He goes, it's a semi and a half. He's like, there's a semi full, and then the back half of this semi's full, and then the front half is just like Owsley's lab. And I'm like, I said, you got to go and see it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I love you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're married already, Steve, but like I'm available. Like, I tell my wife I said that. There's a girl's gonna get mad when she hears I'm available, but I as much as I'm into the Dead, to me, to hear some guy sit right where you're sitting and go, oh yeah, I walked into Owsley's lab and they go, oh wow.
He toured with him, right? That's cool. But a friend of mine wrote a song about Johnny Johnson.
Oh.
And I said, man, Bob Ware's a cool guy. Call him up.
Oh, Les Ryder?
Les Reader.
Les Reader. I got the CD at home.
Well, you got me playing, and then
I got that CD at home.
played on
Bobby
all of
plays.
those.
Bobby Weir's on it.
Here's a story about that.
Okay,
You
go
ready?
ahead. Help me out, man. Because
All right.
I got the CD. I saw you guys. I think way back when.
Could have, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
that's how I got the CD. I think. I don't know.
Well, he called Bob up. He answers the phone, and Les, he said, Bob, this is Les Reader. He goes, yeah, man, I know you. I've heard your name. And somebody had talked to him about this song already. And he said, I was wondering if you'd play on this song. He said, yeah, I'll play on it. Send me the tape. So we went and recorded a nice studio. We sent him the tape out to L.A. And they were playing at some kind of blues club in Columbia, Missouri.
Blue Note.
Is that it?
That might be it, yeah.
Blue Note.
Well, the Rat Dog was playing there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
we
about
brought
the right spot.
A little mobile unit was down there to record him playing guitar on this song, right? To play on it. And we get there, and he goes, yeah, he says, Gary, could you kind of guide me through it? I really didn't get to listen to it. So I go, oh my God, could you just do the 1-4-5 thing for me? I go, sure. So I'm sitting like here, and there's Bob with the guitar.
Chord chart.
And I'm looking at this paper because I wrote it on. I'm going, 4, 1, 5. There's a 2 chord in there. Put 2. And he's going, and he got through it. But he was a great guy.
Oh,
but
yeah,
to be
I love
honest,
that.
but to be honest, when we took it to a studio over St. Louis for to edit everything, it's almost all me playing it.
Is it?
Oh, wow.
It's weird that you said, as soon as you said I got a story about my friend and Bob Weir, I went, oh, there's no way. This is going to be...
Les Reader, yeah.
And I truly, I've had that CD for decades.
Yeah, well,
I don't know where, like, I must have saw you guys. I don't know where else I could get it, you know?
was it the one called with?
It's got a picture of Bobby on the back of it, I swear.
It's on the inside. Yeah.
Or on the inside, yeah.
I can't remember the name of the CD right now, unfortunately.
Wow. Small world, man. Small world. Wouldn't want to paint it, but and you're right. Bob is a great guy.
He was wonderful.
I got to hang out with Bob, and I got to interview Bob and Bill one day. They said, "You want to interview the Grateful Dead?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "You got 5 minutes. Get ready." And I sat there blanks. I couldn't come up with one question. I had so many questions I wanted to ask.
Yeah. Oh, I asked him a bunch.
Yeah, and like the next day hanging out with him, off the air, I did get to ask more questions just in a friendly hanging out setting. But that day I was just like, remember when you were in the Grateful Dead? Remember when Kerry was alive? Yeah, I was total Chris Farley, man. I was doing so bad.
I did that with Bonnie, quite honestly. You know, I was just...
If I met Clapton, that's what I do.
But Bonnie Bramlett we're talking about, she's the one who found J.J. Cale and told Clash, she's like friends with Clapton or whatever, and she said, man, there's this guy J.J. Cale, you really need to do, he's got songs you should be doing.
And then he did.
Oh, and he did.
Yeah.
And we did, and we learned some of them ourselves.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, not only him, but like what Skinner did, They Call Me the Brie. I mean, but once she brought him to Clapton and he covered it after midnight, it was just on down the road.
Okay, so left-handed cowboy. Left-hand cowboy.
No,
I keep thinking of left.
Everybody does that, though.
I keep doing left-hand cigarette man in my head. But anyways, you guys, if someone comes out to see you, they can just walk up and request pretty much anything, and you guys will give it a shot. Or
Van Halen or Poison or something, maybe not.
Okay.
No death metal.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that makes
People
sense.
look at us and we've got a Western shirt on, and and we're all in our late 60s or 70s, and they'll get an idea that we're not going to play Cool in the Gang or something like that.
Right.
Oh, I was going to say, I bet you could do it.
We'd give it a try.
Yeah, celebrate good time. Come on.
So that leads me back to the name and where that came from.
Where the name came from?
Yeah.
Well, Tommy does the names here.
Okay.
Tommy comes up with all the names.
I just thought it was a cool sounding name. I come up with names, I'll write them down. If there's nothing on Google, nothing on YouTube, or nothing on Facebook, I usually take out a page name for that. I probably have 70 of them.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow.
So any new band is just like...
So now we know why no one can find a band name anymore.
He's got them all.
Yeah. We talk about this all the time on the show, because bands are starting to use numbers to go with their name because they're running out of things to,
Hey, call him.
Okay, so
Right.
What's the name?
if someone needs a band name, they can call you up.
20 domains for sale.
No, just names.
Pretty cool. So it just come up, and wasn't linked to a cowboy or something. I think he said earlier.
A Western movie.
I was looking through some Western novels one day, and I saw a novel, I don't even know who it was written by, but I saw a novel called Left Hand of the Law, and it was a Western theme, and I thought, that guy must be a left-hand cowboy, and the name just kind of resonated with me, and I thought, this is kind of a cool name, so I just plugged it away, and when we got together, I said, let's use that. Started to use it once before with our good friend Kenny Radis, and we were putting another hippie country band together to do a lot of the same stuff. It didn't fully materialize, but that was the start of the name, and then we sort of...
What was the name of the band we had with him, though, right before?
Kenny and the Coyotes?
Yes.
Yeah. The three of us were in a band with Kenny called Kenny and the Coyotes.
I like that.
Then we called it the Coyotes without Kenny.
Yeah.
Well, then, after he left, we were just and the Coyotes.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, there you go.
That was us three.
And the Coyotes.
Now, were you guys messing with me earlier, or like two of you actually
Yeah, these two guys.
Right.
I do things terribly with
tell.
both hands.
Ambidextrous.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I could tell I'm closest to him, and I'm sort of allergic to southpaws. My eyes have been wanting on.
Yeah, well, I understand. Believe me, I get that all the time.
So you're a lefty.
Definitely.
You're a righty.
Right.
You're ambidextrous.
On many things.
We're covering it all.
Yeah, I thought you were Tom. I didn't know.
Tom ambidextrous. Yeah.
That's my sister.
That's his middle name.
Right, so a left-handed guitar player, upside down?
No, when I first, my dear sweet mother, I was 15 and I'd wanted a guitar since I was 7. She finally scraped up enough money to go to Whittle's Music in Alton when it was downtown, and she comes walking up the hill with a little K amp and a K guitar with a cutaway. So, I can't get in there, but I just flipped it over and started playing, learning to play like that. My brother already had a guitar. He had a nice Epiphone Casino,
Nice.
So I was learning upside down. The first song I learned was a little bit of soul, upside down, over the phone. And I broke a couple strings, so I stole the strings off my brother's guitar and put them on the way, the low E would be up toward me, and
Okay.
so, like normal, in other words. So I quit playing upside down and started playing like Hendricks flipped his strings over.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but for a little while there, I was covering both bases, upside down, but I got out of it because you get confused after a while.
So your brother was a righty?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, he still is. But
Okay, that's good. I'm glad he stuck with it.
Actually, he converted a couple years ago for marriage. He wanted to marry a lefty.
I don't think he plays anymore. I haven't seen him for a while, actually.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
He didn't pull the Tony Iommi, didn't he switch around?
I don't know. No, what?
See, I heard two different stories on that.
He worked in a machine shop. And he
Right, and he cut his fingers off.
He was left-handed, but what he
Okay.
did is he got
He got
some
plastic
plastic,
tips.
and now he's got,
Garcia
Right,
was
real
able
one.
to have that middle one out of the way, he said.
Yeah, he couldn't go like
it's just
that.
in the way. It's just in the way, man.
Fleet that way.
Yeah. We actually interviewed a girl who does play left-handed and upside down.
Yeah.
Samantha Grimes, right? Yeah.
Really?
Jammed with Jay Christopher did a bunch of recordings with her.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you watch Albert King, he played.
He's upside down.
Upside
Yeah.
down too.
He bends
The
like
old blues
that.
player Elizabeth Cotton played that way. She had it turned.
Oh, there you go. She's amazing.
I
Yeah.
was going to say, would she write Freight Train when she was
Sure.
13 or
Yeah.
something? I mean,
Yeah.
come on, man.
That's one of the first. I learned that when I was quite young too.
Yeah, she's 13-year-old girl that
Yeah, it's-
wrote it, man. It makes me go, why am I even trying to write songs? It always, I love it whenever I find young kids who already have figured it out. That are already doing beyond what my wisdom can bring, which is I have no wisdom. I created it all on a deadline.
So did you guys all teach yourselves how to play? Pretty much, or
Yeah.
Well, even though I had a feel for left-handed, I didn't want to mess with the drums, and the original drummer was right-handed, so I just learned to play right-handed.
right?
I think I've learned something from everybody I've played with. It's been a long process, and every time I meet somebody new or even go to a different gig, I learn something new. So.
But no real lessons, no classical training whatsoever. Right. That's awesome.
To me, it sounded like lessons and stuff. I mean, it's right for some people,
Yeah.
but it just seemed like it's just going to beat all the fun out of it.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't box me in. Man.
Yeah,
Don't tell me
yeah.
how to live my life.
You got to measure, and here's the notes and stuff like that. God, don't take me back to junior high, choir class. Give me some freedom.
Let's start at the beginning. Sound is vibration. Your ears pick up.
I just heard that last
You don't want to
night.
pay $25 an hour to hear that. No.
Now I may not have caught it earlier. Who's singing in the group?
All of them.
All of you sing,
All three
okay.
of them are singing.
We usually start with Gary. He'll sing a song, I sing a song, Jimmy sings a song. And then
See, that's smart. You get to take a break in between songs.
And then
I like that.
Every third
Stills
song.
and Nash does it.
Yeah, there you go.
And Neil Young saves all his up to the end now.
Well, now speaking of Neil Young, we'll generally we start the night with That'll Be the Day, Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And everybody go, cool.
Can't go wrong
And then
with Holly.
by the end of the night, a lot of times, not so much here lately, but a lot of times we ended with Rockin' in the Free World.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Love
Try to
me
play
some
that at
music.
American Legion.
We have. We don't really have a set list. When it's your turn to sing,
You just pick it.
the
You pick a song.
song.
Nice.
Okay.
So
We
each
did have a
our
set
own song
list.
Well, when we said it, when we were talking earlier, and you said, well, we usually have a song or two, a couple songs we'll start off with, and then you ride the crowd, you see where it goes, see what they want.
Yeah.
And that is a great way to be, but I tell you, like as time goes on, to remember what's the pool of songs to pick from. If I don't have a list or somebody telling me what's next, I'm usually like,
That's true.
Well, we have a list. They're all
Yeah,
sitting
we
right
all
there,
have a
but we
book.
don't, Right. It's just, I want to do this one now.
Which one haven't we done? I look at that towards the end of that. I write.
I
Yeah.
have to scratch them off because I don't remember what we did 5 minutes ago. Once we did it, it's kind of in the past.
Oh, I remember.
Well, if I did that, they'd tell me.
Yeah.
And vice versa, we all tell each other.
So you got
Spent time playing with playing in other people's bands.
Yeah.
Usually, you have a band leader, and then you play the guitar, or I play the bass, and and they do all the singing and stuff like that. Over the years, we've learned to sing a few songs, but this is the first time I've ever been in a band with 3 sidemen.
Right.
Really,
Well, I love it though, because that is sort of the goal, is to have a democracy, let's call it.
Right.
Everybody has a say so.
Oh no, we don't have that.
You are?
Yeah, he's the lawyer of the group. So
Oh, no.
No, I'm kidding.
No, we have no strife in this band. We don't argue. We don't fuss about nothing.
That is,
And unlike the last band, but it's like we're just good friends. We know each other too long,
right.
and we've been through it all: the arguing and the fussing. And I'm the star.
what we need's a manager. No, what we need some paying gigs.
Yeah.
Well, we ain't even got a PA yet.
Look, all we need is Eddie Van Halen.
There you go. There you go.
That was my favorite one.
Speaking of
Michael
PAs, how
Jackson.
many PAs have we got? You guys, I mean, I don't have a PA anymore. I got rid of. How many PAs have you got? Huh?
We're covered.
Yeah.
More than you'll ever need.
Yeah.
When I was a young kid coming,
them out.
when you're young and you're in your teenage years or whatever, and you go to these guys' houses who've been playing for a while, and you're like, you got guitar amps you don't use? Who's ever heard of such a thing? And then you get to be the age that they were, and you're like, yeah, I don't even play through that guitar anymore, man. Just, I should sell it. I ain't touch, But when you're a kid and you see someone like that, you're like, how does that happen?
How did you even do that?
And now I've got a storage unit full of gear that I don't even know what's in there. If somebody listed it off for me, I don't know, man, Because it becomes a habit, You're like, well, I gotta have that. And
Those two guys.
Well, we try to travel
Me somewhat.
very light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Equipment is small,
smart.
and we go into a winery and or a club or something. We can set up and be play our job and then be gone in a half hour.
right.
We travel real.
We don't travel, with big equipment because we don't want to be too loud,
And we can't really lift it.
Right.
Plus we can't-
Right.
See, that's right.
Well, we always say that we don't get paid to play music. We get paid to carry the equipment. Yeah.
I'll play for free anytime.
Music's easy.
I carry my gear.
Give me money.
Yeah. If I got to tear my studio
Oops,
down
sorry,
and
Jim.
put it back together just to do this, I give me a cup of coffee
Yeah.
or something, a chicken dinner, anything.
Chicken dinner.
Sounds like a good one. Yeah.
Oh man, so you guys, we, like I said, we've been in contact for a little while, and what area do you guys sort of cover with your?
For sure, Grafton. I know I've seen you guys up there.
We're at Grafton. We're at the Aeries, I think, 10 times
Wow.
between this coming Saturday into October.
Nice.
Aren't we there
So
two
that's just-
times next month?
Yeah, twice.
that's
Saturday and a Sunday?
Steady watering hole.
Yeah.
Now, is there like
The Alton VFW.
okay, yeah,
Play at the Alton Moose. We're at Wood River Moose. We play at the Refinery in Wood River.
Okay.
We're going to be at the Collinsville Fireman's Hall in a couple.
There you go. So that when I said where do you play, I was thinking more in geography.
Yeah.
Like how far do you guys?
About a 50-mile radius, maybe. What do you guys say? At the most.
In August, we're at in Staunton at
Nice.
at Decamp Station.
okay, yeah. That's
There you
a,
go.
We'll go a little ways.
all the usual ones that we announce each and every week, and yeah, we've seen you guys' name on there and announced it many times.
So yeah, your name has made our
Yeah, I just seen it earlier. We were looking at June 8th a date for this Trinity River Fest. I think you guys are at the Moose or something like that.
Yeah, right here, left-handed cowboy, 7 p.m. Alton Moose.
Yeah.
So
I looked right down at it.
yeah,
see that?
yeah. He's like, wait a minute.
Man, that ain't us.
I didn't know.
That's
a different
left-handed
band.
Cowboy, not
It's
left-handed.
all in here.
Yeah.
I get the times wrong sometimes.
Oh man. So
Oh wow! So that was pretty amazing to find out. These stories that Gary has. It's like, this is why we do this.
Yeah.
It's like, until I think what happens a lot of time is you go to a bar, you see a band, you watch them, but all you know is what they're playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Very seldom do you get to sit down and find out why and what and where this all come from.
Beyond just seeing a band and not knowing, you could be in a band with someone
Right.
for years.
True.
All you do is really play music together, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you're married? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know these guys are
Right,
right.
and I love the way you guys were talking about the way your band is. I love it when and to me the perfect band is just a group of people having fun
Right.
together. That there is no ego and everybody's playing for the song.
It has to be that way now.
It's a conversation, and everyone gets to talk in this conversation, but we're all playing for the same purpose, not to be like, well, the dynamics is you're the lead singer and I'm the guitar player with Mystique. You're not trying to push anything except make the best. I mean, all we're doing is decorating time anyway,
Sure.
right? We're just trying to make the time a little
I
more
like
pretty.
that. Decorating time. Write that down.
No, I have. Believe me, I've said that.
Tom's already got a band called that.
I do.
For about 6 years.
Can I join?
Wait, patent pending. So anyway, I mean, we're just trying to make time more fun,
Yeah.
and make the people around us smile and maybe dance and enjoy themselves. I mean, that's the point to me, and it seems like what
It's
you
the
guys
point
are
for
after
us too.
Yeah,
We love playing music, and we especially love playing music together.
yeah. It doesn't get any better than that, man.
Every night when we're playing somewhere along in the gig, I always feel the magic happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not anything I feel anywhere outside of playing music.
Yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. It's just this feeling that comes across you that's like you can't even tie it to anything unless you've had it. You don't know what we're talking about. So yeah.
I've said for years, nothing beats the vibration of live music. Pre-recorded music is fun. I love all audio. I love messing with audio in general, but live music, the vibrations hit you different. And the only thing better than watching live music is being part of the conversation. And even though I can't talk as good as most people in this language, I still would rather be talking than even listening a lot of times.
Yeah.
And when like I said, I'm in a band with a guy that that's a friend of mine I'd known him for years. I walked in his house after knowing him for years, and he's playing guitar. I'm like, are you kidding me? I known you 5 years and you didn't tell me And so I'm like, we're in a band starting today, right? But he'd never been in a band, so he's playing bass. And yeah, well, I was like, hey, let's start you on bass. So a few years later, the two guitar players, I was playing keyboard in the band, the two guitar players leave. One goes to California and one goes to work for the band, the Swag or whatever. And he's very bad. It's like his first breakup, right? It's like your first girlfriend. It's his first band. And all I said to him is, dude, don't rush it, because it's all about the right people. I know every musician in town just about, and I could call someone and talk someone into coming over and be like, come to my studio, play with me. But when you get the right guys that all are just having a good time, and I don't know about you guys, I'm by your attitude, I'm taking, like, even on stage, we try to make each other laugh. We try to entertain each other by doing something that we've never done, just throwing something out there, and as much as you're entertaining the other people, like say, you're also entertaining each other and just trying to do this thing,
I generally entertain them by messing up the words to songs. They get a big kick out of it.
Absolutely, man. And I got my band playing, or my wife playing bass years ago, and we got a little cover band that we have fun with. And she tried to sing a few songs, and she said, "Oh my gosh, every time I've given you crap about forgetting the words, I take it all back. It is so hard." But I will, if I start, just like Garcia or any of them, if I don't remember the words, I know the melody. Just start trying to rhyme. It doesn't even have to necessarily make sense. It keeps the song going until you can remember, and or even worse than forgetting the words is you have a 10-minute jam and you're like, what song is this? And this could be so many songs right now. Like, we're playing CG&D. This could be anything.
A lot of songs.
And you're supposed to be singing and they're all looking at you and you're like, and you kick into everybody needs somebody, and they're like, nope, that wasn't it.
What did we do at Stagger Inn a while back? Somebody wanted to hear that Stevie Ray Vaughan song.
Shout out to Butch Moore.
What was it?
Yeah.
Oh, Lover Boy.
No,
Pride and Joy.
Pride and Joy.
Pride and Joy.
And I said, I ain't played it for a while, but okay. So I started going boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Are you singing it? No, you're singing. Are you singing it? So finally, Jim goes, well, the hell with it. I'll sing. He starts singing. He never sang it before. I usually sing it, and he sang it.
Man, but isn't that fun to be able to just kind of kick it around, have freedom up there to enjoy yourself and not be rigid and locked into, just do it, man.
So you guys do some harmonies since you're all singers?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do it now.
No.
We're not gonna do any out
Could you
here.
hum a few bars? Yeah.
We pretty much, I'd say
I've been to a few bars.
Yeah.
85-90% of our songs have harmony.
Nice.
2 and 3 piece.
You start crooning St. James Infirmary, and I want you to do that. Oh, man. Well, you know what, guys? I just want to say this has been fun. Thank you for coming down here. You had to wait for an extra hour for this to happen.
Oh, man.
That's okay. We got to know each other a little.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
A meeting in
We decided to retire. We're breaking up.
Oh, man. Breaking news.
Come to find out.
Well, that's what we told you.
You learn things about each other. No, seriously, I really appreciate you hanging out and coming down here, and we will definitely keep in touch with you guys and promote. Keep in contact with what we can promote for you. Next time we'll just do this all live. Cool. We'll just take it in the big room. Except you got to watch your cussing, bro.
I know.
You have just been out of hand, man.
Thank you for having us.
Hey guys, seriously, thanks for coming down. It's been a good time, and the best of luck to you guys. I love your attitude, just the basic attitude and approach that you. I haven't seen you play yet, but now I want to, because I get excited when I see. I get excited when kids come in that are excited about music, because it restores my faith in the future. Yep. And I love it whenever I see what do we have, that BC Homegrown. They struck me the same way. Just the way I've never seen them play, but the way they discuss music.
Oh, they're great.
They play really
They're great. Yeah.
I still haven't got to see them, but just hearing them discuss how they play and their outtake on music, just it hits me in my training center. It's sort of hey, we're out to have a good time, but we want to do a good job. But this is.
I'm so glad I went to check them out, the Lincoln Theater in Belleville, when they did that show, man. It was pretty amazing. Yeah, just to see them pack the place, Unfortunately, the sound man wasn't too good in the first set, but, it happens. It's part of being in live music, but, man,
I think they're scheduled to be back there sometime.
Yeah, probably. They opened for Foghat recently, and, of course, you can check them out around town. The Subs is their acoustic group, and then
BC Homegrown.
Sometimes they still go by Screaming Eagles Jam Band, but they're trying to.
Which when they play, you got to throw up your hands. Go,
right.
Like you're Screaming Eagle.
But yeah,
Six
it's been great getting to know all the bands, and thanks for letting us get to know you guys.
Yeah.
Sure, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
Well, you guys made it easy to talk and stuff.
Yeah, that's Pig Ben. He's a journalist, and he is. He really is. He's taught me everything I know.
I thought you were the journalist.
No, he made that up. You got to watch fake news over here. He's very good at fake news.
Wait a minute. What do you call you? Pig
Ben, yeah.
No, man. Were you in a Grateful Dead?
Weren't
you the one that was going out with?
He's going to tell you this BS story about how they said it's okay that he uses the name, and it's not true at all. The truth is that he's named after the cartoon character that didn't take a bath.
Even better. Yeah.
Okay.
We love him.
That's the story I heard long before he interviewed the Grateful Dead. That's all I'm saying.
I'm a quarter hippie on my father's side and a quarter unbathed on my mother's side. I don't know. No, I did get lucky enough to meet him, and I was apologetic about it. But those guys are awesome.
They're probably watching.
But I definitely stole my name from Ron. Hands down.
He steals most stuff.
Hey, if you're gonna steal it from the best.
I need a new car. Steal stuff. All right.
He stole some spare change out of your car once. That's
I
true.
wonder where that went.
I lived for 4 years on spare change, man. It changed me.
When I got that car, it was full of spare change. I'm not kidding you. I went out and bought dinner.
Oh man! So
Hey, we got to thank our
There you go.
wonderful
Oh, I forgot.
sponsors, Halpin Music Company, over 8 years now.
Did you?
Okay, there you go.
What era? Soundspot era.
Yeah.
So.
Okay,
what
so
was
tell
it?
us a guitar you bought there. You had to buy a guitar.
I did buy a Strat there.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was an 84 Strat, so it wasn't really a Strat because they changed things on it, and I changed them to make it a Strat. Then it was a Strat. But yeah, I only bought a. Well, I bought a Washburn there too.
You bought a Strat and hot rodded it.
I did a bunch of stuff.
I got
How about you, Jim? You ever shop at Halpin? I mean, Mark Landon's a bass player, so.
I've
Yeah.
had repair work done there.
Okay. Yeah. It's funny, people walk up to you all the time when you're a musician. You know this band? You know that band? It's like you very seldom know the other bands because you're playing too when they're playing. So
Yeah.
I just thought, you're a bass player. You must know Mark Landon. I mean,
all bass players know each other.
I've heard him.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I got a cousin who lives in Chicago. You're from Chicago. You're my cousin from Chicago? No.
yeah. And we never ask about your kit. You gotta love your kit. Do you play a specific kit, or you mix it up?
My drum kit.
Yeah, your drum kit.
Well,
Oh, gee. Get out the list.
Okay, you're going to have to extend this for another
Okay,
3 hours.
we need a little more time.
I have a drum set or two,
Okay.
and I've been working progressively over the years to just get smaller and
Okay, yeah, because carrying stuff is.
because I'm old and I'm lazy, and like you guys said, the fun part's playing. The fun part's not carrying stuff and turning everything and setting it up.
All right, I want to take a wild guess. I'm gonna go as low as the lowest common denominator I can think of. You got a bass, a snare, and one tom with a bunch of cymbals.
No bass, snare, big hi-hats, one mounted tom, one cymbal.
So I was right with the three-piece though.
Yeah.
The bass, snare, and one tom.
Yeah.
I just overdid the cymbals.
Yeah.
You don't even want to carry those. They're heavy.
Well,
They're heavy. And brass is
But you have to
expensive.
carry a stand to put them on.
Right.
And then you got to set the stand up,
Yeah.
tighten 3 things down and adjust it 6 times.
So you think
And
that's why Buddy Rich did it that way, or was he just really good and didn't need any drums?
Well,
Yeah.
pretty good like him.
Yeah, right.
All
He
you
can play on an oatmeal box.
Yeah,
I think he had people. He had probably had roadies, so
Sure.
I mean, he was kind of famous.
You ever see Frank Sinatra play drums?
Yeah.
Just a snare is all you need to give that man, and he will whoop it up like nobody's
Yeah,
business.
I've seen it.
Holy man with a golden arm. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie.
Is that a movie?
Anyway, yeah. So, what kind of kit was it? Though?
All of them.
It's just
That's
a-
it. Oh,
I have a few.
Yeah.
Okay.
you can't say
I don't
how many
want
because
to
it's on the air.
mention one and make the rest of them.
Right,
You
right.
get jealous. Yeah, you get like, well, I heard you mention the Tamas. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't know if you, have a particular kit you play out or whatever. But that's all right. Unless you get a sponsorship,
Whatever.
don't do it. Don't even talk about it until someone's paying.
Whichever one I'm playing.
He's trying to search an endorsement. He's trying to search an endorsement.
Yeah, exactly.
We call him a butterfly. He flies around from drum to drum.
All right.
I learned that in the Philippines, so we won't go
I'll show
any
you what
farther
happens
with
in Vietnam, but you did good.
Anyway.
So hey, man, this has been very fun. This has been a good time, guys.
Well,
Now that we've met, this is going to have to happen more often. And now I look forward to getting out to see the left-hand cowboy.
All right.
go.
If you see the left-handed cowboy, you're seeing the wrong thing.
Right.
Those guys,
Imposters.
they are not. Yeah, there's some Johnny-come-latelys, man.
Well, I get,
Desist.
he changes every band name that comes in here, so every once in a while I like to, and just see if he catches it,
Yeah.
and he don't. So, but he's a great journalist, so I mean that's all we need to know.
I thought you were the journalist.
No, he's
Didn't I say
Pigpen.
that already?
He's Pigpen Radio.
Deja.
He's on 2 stations at once.
So his initials are PP?
Yeah, pretty much PPP sometimes.
As of right now, I'm no longer on 94.3.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, this is taped, so anyhow.
It's all just an illusion. Hey, seriously, guys, left-handed cowboy. left hand cowboy.
See? See how I did it?
That's all right.
You
We cried.
drug me in the gutter with you.
I did.
We've got
And you
Tom.
enjoyed it every time I've done it.
I pay extra for it.
I found you in an RV once, underneath it, naked.
I was wearing one sock.
Okay.
Tom Hendricks, pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Very nice to meet you. Thanks so much for having us.
Jim Duey, not so much a nice. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance too.
Nice hat, though.
We
didn't compliment that.
I was very jealous of that lid.
Yeah,
It looks comfortable.
it does.
And Gary Will, not Will.
Excellent.
Gary Will.
Thank you.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Or Gary Williams. Or Gary Wong.
Hey,
All through school. I went to Catholic school for a while. Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
I ain't telling no stories
there
about
was a
that.
nice pause right there. He said, "I went to Catholic school," and we were all like, "All right, what's the story?"
Yeah.
No, I'm done.
Catholic girls at
Done.
the CYO. Frank Zappa, rest in peace. All right, hey, thanks guys for coming down.
Yep.
On behalf of Dennis,
You're behalf of me?
on behalf of our sponsors, Halpin and Matt Van Voorhis, everybody out there, thanks for listening. Everybody remember.